How can you tell that you're not grounded and what to do about it? My name is Linda Armstrong, and I am a spiritual awakening and transformation life coach and energy healer. And on my channel, I speak about all things to do with that. All things to do with energy, with connecting with spirit, with tapping into this power of who you truly are and how to work with that to manifest the life you love. So I'd love you to subscribe to my channel, even hit that bell so you'll be notified when new videos come out. And I'd love to even hear what things you would like me to speak about. I'd love to shoot more videos on the topics that you really want to hear about. So leave me some comments below. Thanks. It's really important that you are aware of when you're ungrounded so that you can then take different steps to get yourself back grounded and feeling like whole. It can be a real easy mood shifter to just do some of these different grounding techniques that I'll talk about later in the video, to really bring yourself back and be present in the moment, ready to go on and create your life and do the things that you intend to do, right? Fully aware and awake and ready to go, feeling grounded, like really in your body. Us spiritual type people, people awakening, we tend to be a lot in the outer realms. Like we can go there pretty easily. And so sometimes we don't realize when we're too much of our energy out there and not enough of it here in our body, connected to the earth, this place where we live, right? In this body that assists us to travel and navigate through our lives. So grounding is really important. And then I'll go over a whole bunch of those symptoms as well as solutions. So stick around. I think you'll enjoy it. Some of the symptoms are anxiety, overwhelm, spreading yourself too thin. I mean, I'm sure you've felt that before many times. I know I have. Emotional highs and lows, mood swings, right? Also clumsiness. You may find yourself bumping into things a lot. Just not being present and in the moment, having your thoughts either stuck on something in the past or maybe even out there into the future, which is a good thing to do, but you don't want to hang out there too much. You need to be here and now in your body, navigating your life, right? Forgetfulness. Yeah, I come across that one a lot. That's a good one. So not being able to concentrate, spaciness, just being really spacey. That's something that I actually, for a big period of my life, in high school, people called me dizzy. I think about it now, and I was a little spacey, like I wasn't really in my body all the time. I can look back and see what that was now, but of course I had no clue at the time. Being easily distracted, even headaches. So these are all different things that get in the way, and I'm sure there's others as well, but generally these are ways that you can tell when you are not grounded. And even though I know about these things, sometimes I don't realize it myself. And I know, one time I had a friend of mine who's a psychic medium, and I'm going over something with her, and she's like, "Well, Linda, you're not grounded." And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm not grounded?" Grounded? I know what grounded is. I was almost arguing with her, right? And it was later on in the day when I realized, I don't know what was going on, I don't remember, but I caught myself. I'm like, oh my God, she's right. I'm not grounded. And the thing was, I was struggling with something. I don't know, I was creating a product or something I was doing maybe to grow my business, right? And I was working at it too hard. I was kind of forcing it instead of letting it flow. And it just was that I wasn't really connected. I was it was like too many things coming at the same time. So that was interesting for me because I had never really considered that before. Other things you can tell, especially when you're being spaced out and spacey, or find yourself always in another thought, or you're talking to someone and they're talking to you actually, and you're not really there. You're not in the present moment, you're somewhere else, even if you think you're listening to them. So these are all different symptoms of not being grounded. And I'd love to hear in the comments below which ones of those you experience, or maybe some that you've experienced that you weren't sure that, oh, this is what it is, and that there's something to do about it. So we'll go to that part next. So you're ready for some solutions? So my favorite is to go outside barefoot on the grass. Just really feel the earth beneath you. No shoes, just letting that energy of the earth coming up into your feet and then going into your body. Now, a lot of us who are in the spiritual world and who meditate a lot, we like to imagine that we're sending roots down out through our feet, down into the center of the earth. And I like to have those roots go to the center of the earth and wrap themselves around the earth. Well, that does it. That will ground you. But really, to get the actual earth under your feet, barefoot, is so much nicer. And you could feel that energy coming in. It's really very refreshing. It'll totally bring you back into present time and grounded. And then there's also hugging a tree. Now, I used to make fun of tree huggers when I was younger, right before I woke up. But now, I love it. I mean, you can feel the energy of the tree. You can feel the aliveness in it. And that really grounds you. That really brings you back into your body. I mean, we're spirit, and really, the most of us is in the outer realms. Only 20% here is in the body. But we have a body for a purpose, right? We're here for this experience, to live on this earth. So we need to ground ourselves to the earth. And then, a lot of people who are awakening and getting into spirituality and different things, they think it's better to be up in those higher chakras, like to be out. But really, the more grounded you are, the higher you can go, the more you can have that expansion. So grounding, it really, truly is very important. So then you also want to bring yourself into present time, right? Another way, if you're not going to go outside, or maybe you're not able to at that moment, well, you could walk around your room or wherever you are and actually touch things around the room. Feel the different textures, or what the surfaces feel like: fabric, wood, metal, glass, leaves, especially plants, right? It brings you back into your body. There's another way of grounding. It brings you into the present moment, into the here and the now. And that's a really cool thing to do. And actually, for any of you moms out there with little kids, when they're like stuck in this like tantrum kind of thing, this is an offshoot, but this really works. So I've always done it. You just take that child, even if they're crying, and you take their hand and you start having their hand touch different things around the room. And you'll find all of a sudden they come back in and they start to notice that they're touching stuff. And it really can, zap them right out of it. So whether you're, 1 or 2 or like 40 or 50, 20, whatever age, that works for everybody. And so you can also eat grounding foods, or just food in general, just eating. Like a lot of times when people leave my sessions, they're still a little out there, and I have to have them get grounded back, but they're still it's enjoyable. They're enjoying this energy and this lightness that they feel. But, you have to go and drive a car or something like that. You need to be able to ground back in, right? So I always tell them, go get something to eat. It'll bring you right back into your body, right? Or even touching your own body, right? And maybe you start from your head down to your toes, or from your toes up to your head. And just, touch your toes, touch your foot, touch your ankles, touch your calves, touch your knees, your thighs, your hips, your waist, your shoulders, just touch yourself to bring yourself back in. So those are the ways that I like to ground, and I hope that they help you and that you can feel that shift. And really, it's a good idea to make it like a daily practice, especially getting out feeling the earth underneath your feet. Like even for a few minutes every day, right? Just getting out there. So like when it's too cold out, then I'll definitely just hold on to a tree and feel it that way, because I don't want to take my shoes off and go barefoot on the freezing cold ground outside, right? So anyway, these are things that you can do. And anything I left out would be, okay, well, gardening, if you're able to do that, like something, maybe you're so stuck on something that's coming up or a big project that you have, and you find yourself too much in that thought process and like really coming out of yourself and getting stuck in this pattern of maybe thinking. And you can't really get too far when you're getting all that mind chatter and clutter going on in your head. It's better really to be grounded. So like that would be a great time to go outside and do some gardening. Get into the earth. Get into earth in any way that you can, and that will ground you. So I hope that these tips resonate with you. Maybe many of these you already do. So now maybe have the awareness of noticing how you feel when you do these things, right? Or if you've noticed that maybe unconsciously you'll go and do one of these techniques, not even realizing that you are ungrounded and that you are being guided to do this. So that happens too, and that's really cool, because then you're really connected and you're following this guidance that's coming to you, right? Because guidance is always coming to us. Our job is to awaken to it and to be able to work with it, recognize it. It's already happening. So that's all. I would love to hear your comments about what you think about what I just shared. Actually, I kind of would like to comment, if anyone would comment, if they think that this background I'm using today is too colorful. I mean, I love color, so for me, there's never too much color. But hey, you never know. Let me know. And maybe comment below with what works for you, or what you've tried, or how many of these symptoms you find that you have and didn't realize that you just weren't grounded. Simple fix. Get out into the earth. That's all for today. I just wish you much love and peace and joy.